Hey friends, today I want to introduce some new commands introduced to Milestone PS Tool this month. Simplify the configuration of cameras, general settings for the cameras, and so if you take a look at milestonepstools.com under the changelog, you'll see that this was released on January 20th, and the commandlets are all get VMS or set VMS camera. So we can set the camera settings, so that's the properties directly attached to the camera, like the camera name and GPS location and things like that. And then we have general settings and get and set VMS camera stream. So let's take a look at the management client user interface just so that we all know what areas of the software we're talking about. So if we take a look at a camera, we have the name, short name, description, GPS coordinates, direction, all of these properties. And we also, I believe, directly attached to the camera. We'll check when we go through the demo, but you should also have access to the pre-buffer settings directly on the VMS camera object. And then if we look at the settings tab for our camera, we have this general section up top, and then one or more video streams per camera. So each camera has its own collection of video streams that you can configure and request for that particular camera channel. And in there, we also have these general settings that apply to that whole camera channel, not individual streams. Okay, so we have the general settings, and then we have these streams. Now, if we look at these, we have configuration properties for the stream itself, so we can change the codec and the frame rate, change the streaming mode to TCP, UDP, or HTTP. Then we also have this concept of stream usages under the Streams tab. By default, video stream 1 is used for both live and recording. So it's the default stream when we're in Smart Client and we view a camera in live and we don't specify which stream we want, we get whichever stream is tagged as the default. And then this is marked as the recorded stream. And if you go in here, you can add additional streams by clicking that add button. We can choose which one is the default, which one is recorded. And this second stream usage is based on video stream 2 from settings tab. And this is all configurable through the SDK, Milestones MIP SDK, but it can be a little bit tricky to map the stream usage over to the stream properties. And that is the goal of the new get VMS camera stream and set VMS camera stream. So without further ado, let's walk through a quick demo so that we can see what these commandlets look like in PowerShell. So the first thing I'm going to do is just select a camera that we can base our demo off of. So I'll do camera equals select camera. That'll bring up a helpful UI. And maybe it brought it up on a different screen. 1 second. There it is. All right. So I'll pick camera 1 here. And now I'll use camera. Let's use set VMS camera and take a look at the properties that we have on here. So like I mentioned, we can change the name, the description, short name, change whether the device is enabled or not, and set the GPS coordinates. And it accepts coordinates either using the internal milestone GIS point property, which is it's a little bit like point, longitude, latitude. That's the format for that. Or you can use coordinates and then put in coordinates like that. Okay. And it'll automatically map it to the milestone GIS point format for you. Then we can specify the direction, and for the coverage, let's see, for the depth, by default, the depth is accepted as meters, but if you specify the units property, you can specify that it's metric or imperial, and the conversion will be done for you. And yeah, we have a lot of different properties here. Prior to the set VMS commandlet, what you would do is you'd say camera dot name equals new name, then you'd save that doing camera dot save. But the new commandlet makes that a lot easier. Now this is running a little bit slow because it's connected to a laptop on my desk here. There we go. So instead of using this dot notation to access the .NET object properties and calling methods like save, and simply do set VMS camera name. And if we include verbose, it'll tell us what it's updating as it updates. And you can also do what if, and it'll tell you what it would do if you omit that what if property or parameter. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Set VMS camera makes it a lot easier to set lots of different properties all at the same time on the camera object. Let's take a look at general settings. Zoom in just a little bit here. Get VMS camera general setting. And we have a few different options here, or I think it's just two. We can specify that we want the raw value. These are the internal STK properties that are not the display names for the values. They're the internal values. And I'll show you the difference in a moment. And then we can also use value type info switch. And if we do that, we get information about what the expected values are for each property. So for example, let's say the black and white mode property, it accepts the color and black and white. If we take that out, now we have a hash table where the keys are the property names and the values are the display names by default. And if we take a look, that black and white property, that's the value, but the internal value, if we were to ask for the raw values, or black and white mode, it's no. So by default, you're going to get the display names for the values so that if you send this to a report or something, the values make a little bit more sense sometimes using the display values. Okay, and then with set VMS camera setting, general setting, it accepts a hash table where the keys and values will match values up here. So let's say I want to change black and white mode from no to yes. I can say black and white mode equals yes. And I'll use verbose so I can see all the changes that are made. Okay, so we have a validation error. So the set VMS camera general setting, black and white is out of range. Okay, so let's take a look again at the value type info. There we go. Okay, so it looks like the values it's expecting are uppercase yes or uppercase no, and that's probably why we got that validation error. So let's change this to yes with a capital Y, and now it's happy. Okay. So that's really helpful having the error messages coming back from the MIP SDK when there's a validation error. Actually get some detailed information about which property was invalid. And if we were to, say, for example, put in a bogus property like foo equals none. So we get a warning that the general setting that we tried to change was not found on that camera. So you can safely, say for example, you want to set the HTTPS mode on all your cameras at once, but some cameras don't have that property. You can just set it anyway. And if the setting isn't available for that camera, you'll get a warning, but it won't cause any harm. All right, so that's the general settings. Let's take a look at streams. This is where, these commandlets are really helpful. So camera, get VMS camera stream. I'm not going to supply any parameters. We'll get a list of all of the streams that are available for that camera and some information about how the stream is used. So we can see that video stream 1 on, check the channel number here. Okay, so this will be camera 1. I'm going to refresh the management client and take a look so we can compare what we see in PowerShell with what is in management client. Go. So this is channel 1. And if we go to streams, we have those two streams set up. So video stream 1 is the recorded stream. Stream 2 is the default live stream. Okay. And that is indeed what we see here. So video stream 1 is the recorded stream. 2 is the live stream. Now, if I don't want to have multiple streams anymore, then I could use camera set VMS camera stream. And actually what I need to do is get the stream first. So get VMS camera stream. So there's video stream 2. Set VMS camera stream disabled. So we're getting a warning that the stream is currently the live or recorded stream. And in the management client, the UI would automatically change the selection for which stream is the live or recorded. So if you try to delete the default live stream and there's another stream listed, it'll go ahead and just move the checkbox for you. You can't see the checkbox moving in PowerShell, so we don't want to make any choices on your behalf. So in this case, we can do set video stream 1 at s camera stream, and we'll make this the live default and the recorded. Now it's letting us know that it's disabling live default on video stream 2 automatically for us, enabling live default on video stream 1, and then saving changes. Video stream 1 was already the recorded stream, so we don't see a change there. All right, so let's take a look at our streams again. Now we still have video stream 2 that is enabled because it's added in the streams tab as a secondary stream, but it's not being used for anything right now, not the live default or the recorded stream. So now it's safe to remove. Go. So now video stream 2 is disabled. If I take a look at my streams again, I'm down to just the one stream. And if I refresh the management client, see just video stream 1 there. Go, video stream 1, that's it. So let's take a look at the, some more information on the VMS camera stream. So do stream equals camera, get VMS camera stream, and I want the live default stream. So if I look at all of the properties that are on the stream, the VMS camera stream object that's returned, I have the columns that we see up here, but I also have settings and value type info for that stream. So if I use stream settings, similar to the general settings, I have a hash table here with the keys and the values, and these are the display values. So let's take a look at the, let's see, value type info. You can see the different resolution options that are available. And I'm hoping to find one of these that has um, a different display value than it has an internal value, maybe control mode. There we go. So the internal value is variable bitrate, all one word, or constant bitrate, but the display name is a little bit nicer to read. And if we look at the settings, see what the value is for control mode, see that it's the display value rather than the internal value. So if we want to change this from variable bitrate to constant bitrate, we can do stream.settings.control mode equals constant bitrate. And then we can pass that hash table on if we do stream set VMS camera stream. There we go, settings. And so here, instead of creating a new hash table, I'm simply reusing the hash table that was in the stream properties. And now it's making those setting changes. Now, because the settings had the display values rather than the internal values, the verbose output is telling us that the values are changing because the display value that we are setting doesn't match the internal value, but actually no changes are happening because the SDK is automatically mapping those display values to the internal values for us. So now if we change the control mode to constant bitrate. So if we refresh in the management client, we should see that change reflected there. While we're waiting, we can stream, see camera, get VMS camera stream, live default. And it's now set to constant bitrate. Constant bitrate has been changed here. All right, so we've covered get VMS camera general setting and VMS camera stream. We didn't talk too much about the get VMS camera commandlet. So prior to this recent release of Milestone PS Tools, the commandlet was get camera, and the only way to use it was to get the hardware first. So you have to do get hardware, get camera, and then for each hardware device that's returned, we'd get all the cameras associated with it. You can still do that with get VMS camera. Go, and it works just the same. But I'm going to interrupt this, it's a little bit slow. We can use get VMS camera by itself now, and as long as you're running, I think it's 2020 R2 or greater, then it'll work. You can just use get VMS camera, and it's going to use a feature of the configuration API to search for all of the camera objects and return them. We can filter by name as well. So if I said my camera, it'll work just like that. Or if I do a partial name, do camera 1, and this is going to give me 2 results because there's a camera 1 and a camera, well, actually you'll get 3 results. So nope, it'll be 2. Be camera 10 and 11 because camera 1 has been renamed to my camera. Go. And the results come back a lot faster than if we were to enumerate through all the hardware devices first. But again, it does rely on running milestone 2020 R2 or later. Look at some of the other options here. So we can, of course, get cameras by ID. We can get all the child camera devices from a hardware device, and we can filter by channels, and we can search by name and description. And we can also change the enable filter. So you might notice that all of these cameras are enabled. Actually, I think they are all enabled anyway. So let me disable one of them. So now my camera is not listed there anymore because it's been disabled. And by default, we are only displaying enabled cameras. So we can change the enable filter to disabled, enabled, or all. So there's all my disabled cameras. Or if I just want all cameras, I can do that. And then there are on a exceptionally large system, you might want to change the timeout value and specify a maximum number of results. So say for example, you're only expecting to find one camera, you'd set the max results so that once you find that one camera, it doesn't keep looking to see if there's another match. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching as always. And if you have any questions, comments, issues, feel free to post them here or have a look at our GitHub repository and post an issue here, and we'll be happy to take a look at it and chat with you. Thank you so much.